Hello, and welcome to our next podcast, Helping Young Children Become Readers, with Isabelle, our lead early years advisor. Welcome to Isabelle. So tell me, why is it important to share books with young children?
Thank you, Verity, for having me. Well, research undertaken by the Book Trust has shown that early shared reading supports not only speech language, but also social and emotional development, and young children's learning and play. Children who choose to read and who read regularly are happier and healthier. They form stronger bonds and relationships. They do better at school and are more creative. They enjoy more success in later life. The book sharing helps children learn unique words. Even picture books contain words we don't usually use in speech. So sharing stories helps children to learn new, unusual words and develop an extensive vocabulary. In fact, picture books are 2 to 3 times more likely to include a word that isn't among the 5,000 most common.
So when should you start?
It is important to read early and often. So research shows that shared reading with an adult helps babies and toddlers learn new words and understand the language they hear. These learning benefits are stronger the earlier that shared reading is started and the longer it goes on. A study found that the quality and the quantity of shared reading in the early years predicted a child's vocabulary at age 4. So really, if you're a parent, start as early as possible.
And how should you do that? How should you start?
Well, if your child is a little bit older, you can follow their lead and let them set the pace and show you what they are interested in. But even with babies, book sharing is an engaging activity where the adult plays and spends time with the little one using books. So if your child is at least 2.5, 3 years old, you can ask them questions while you read. And that's a great strategy to spark vocabulary growth. Look for ways to get children to engage with a story. Start with simple questions like, what is a farmer holding? Or what is a child doing? Later, you can move on to more challenging questions like, the dog looks sad. Why do you feel he looks sad? Or when do you feel sad? It's important to set up a daily routine. So look out for time when children are not overwhelmed or just hungry, and when you can spend some time with them. So if you're a parent, bedtime is a good time, but also in the afternoon, after lunch, or in the morning, halfway through the morning when your child is not yet hungry for lunchtime. Sit side by side, or if you're a parent, with your child on your lap to help them explore the book and feel extra close to you. It's important to find a quiet space where distractions are at a minimum. So no phone, no tablets, television, or even no washing machine noise in the background. And that will help children to settle and focus on what you're doing, on reading the book. Sitting closely will help you pick up subtle cues that a picture or character has called to your child's attention. Remember to use different tones of voice because that really makes the story come alive. Think and notice any word or sound that children make and respond by saying a word using an excited tone of voice. Point, name, and repeat words. For example, yes, that's the Gruffalo. He has purple spikes on his back. You can label feelings that characters in the books are experiencing, and remember to use facial expression to emphasize the message.
What tips do you have about supporting early reading?
So overall, as an adult, it's important to be a reader yourself. Unfortunately, many children, when they start school and begin to learn to decode, start to view reading as a form of punishment. If they have a lot of choice and see the adults around them reading, it creates a completely different atmosphere. It's important to share your passion for stories. Read a huge range of books with children, from picture books to poetry, cartoons, Obviously, if you don't have a lot of books at home, go to the library and meet other families who can share their favorite books. So for children, being with other children who look at books is important. Just like a healthy diet of food, our appetite for reading becomes more developed when what we read is varied and balanced. Just 5 minutes a day will make a big difference to children's development. So remember, just like 5 a day with fruit and vegetables, think about 5 minutes a day reading with a child. All staff in early years need to get on board to make it a sincere effort. Not all adults enjoy reading books, but they can still share what they are reading with the children. Children need to encounter books in which they can see themselves. That's very important. They need to see their own experience and the wider world reflected. So again, libraries offer a very wide range of books. So if you're parents and you're not yet registered with your local library, just go. And finally, the most important thing to remember when you are book sharing with children is to have fun.
Great advice, Isabelle, and thank you so much for talking to us about helping young children become readers. Remember to look out for the CoL top tips on social media at Square Mile Families. Thanks for listening, everyone, and see you at the next one. Bye.